Welcome, everyone, to this in-depth look at one of the most fascinating and secretive processes in the world, the election of a new pope. Following the recent passing of Pope Francis on April 21, 2025, at the age of 88, the world's eyes turned to the Vatican to witness this ancient tradition unfold. There are primarily two occasions that necessitate the selection of a new pope. Firstly, and most commonly, is the death of the reigning pope. As we've seen with the passing of Pope Francis, this immediately sets in motion the process for electing his successor. Secondly, a new pope can be chosen if the current pope resigns from his office. This is a less frequent occurrence, but a notable example in recent history was the resignation of Benedict XVI on February 28, 2013. According to Paul Collins, A Guide to the Next Papal Election, this was a revolutionary act as popes typically remain in office until death. The last undisputed papal resignation before Benedict XVI was that of Celestine Fayen in 1294. When the papacy becomes vacant, a period known as Sede Vacante, meaning the empty chair, begins. Following the pope's death or resignation, the Papal Conclave is convened to elect a new leader for the Catholic Church. The Papal Conclave is the method by which the College of Cardinals elects a new pope. The process typically begins no earlier than 15 days and no later than 20 days after the see becomes vacant. This time frame, according to Universi Dominici Gregis, allows for mourning and for cardinals from around the world to gather in Vatican City. The conclave is expected to be convened in May 2025. Let's break down the key steps of this historic election process. Eligible electors. Only cardinals who are under the age of 80 on the day the papacy falls vacant are eligible to vote. For the 2025 conclave, as of April 21, 2025, there were 135 cardinals under the age of 80. It's important to note that since the 1975 promulgation of Romano Pontifici Elegendo, the maximum number of participating cardinals is 120. It is unclear how they will be chosen while the number of eligible cardinals exceeds 120. The Dean of the College of Cardinals, currently Giovanni Battista Re, plays a key role. Secrecy. The cardinals gather in the Sistine Chapel. The conclave, from the Latin cum clave, meaning with a key, signifies that the cardinals are locked in and isolated from the outside world to ensure secrecy and prevent undue influence. They take an oath of absolute secrecy, and all communication with the outside world is cut off. Voting. The election of the Pope is done through secret ballots. A 2/3 majority of the votes is required to be elected Pope. 4 rounds of balloting are typically held each day until a Pope is elected. Smoke signals. After each round of voting, the ballots are burned in a stove. Black smoke, Fumata Nera, signals that no Pope has been elected, while white smoke, Fumata Bianca, announces to the world that a new Pope has been chosen. Acceptance and papal name. Once a cardinal receives the necessary 2/3 vote, the Dean of the College of Cardinals asks him if he accepts the election and what papal name he will take. Announcement. The senior cardinal deacon, currently Dominique Mamberti, then announces from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Habemus Papam, we have a pope, followed by the new pope's chosen name. New pope's appearance. The newly elected pope then appears on the balcony to give his first blessing to the city of Rome and the world. As the world anticipates the outcome of the conclave, there is much speculation about who the next pope might be. These potential candidates are often referred to as papabili. It's crucial to remember, however, that the election of a pope is often unpredictable. and the media's front-runners don't always get elected. History shows that the election of a non-papabile is common. Recent cases include John XXIII in 1958 and John Paul I and John Paul II, both in 1978. The wise Roman adage, "He who enters the conclave as pope comes out as a cardinal," is usually accurate. Nevertheless, based on observations and discussions, here are some individuals who have been mentioned in connection with the next papal election, drawing from Paul Collins' analysis in A Guide to the Next Papal Election and other sources. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Italy. The current Secretary of State. He is seen by some as a sensible choice and is on good terms with different factions within the Church. Cardinal Matteo Maria Zuppi, Italy. The Archbishop of Bologna. He is supported by the Sant'Egidio community, known for its work with the marginalized. Paul Collins views him as the numero uno frontrunner. Cardinal Luis Tagle, Philippines. Often referred to as the Asian Francis. He is committed to social justice. Paul Collins gives him a 3-star rating. Cardinal Michael Czerny, the prefect of the dicastery for promoting integral human development. He has vast international experience. Cardinal Peter Erdo, Hungary. Seen as a leading conservative candidate, he participated in the 2005 and 2013 conclaves. Paul Collins gives him a 2-star rating. Cardinal Mario Grech, Malta. The Secretary General of the Synod of Bishops. He may be an appealing compromise candidate in a deadlocked conclave. Paul Collins gives him a 2-star rating. Cardinal Robert Serra, Guinea. A prominent conservative figure. He would appeal to more extreme anti-Francis cardinals. Paul Collins gives him a 1-star rating. Cardinal Sean Patrick O'Malley, USA. Archbishop of Boston, with a strong record on handling clerical abuse. Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo, Democratic Republic of Congo. A committed conservative and advocate for peace. Cardinal Berhanayesus Sorafil, Ethiopia. A bishop in the Eastern Rite, potentially appealing to those seeking unity with the Orthodox Church. Other possibilities mentioned include Cardinal Mark Uele, Canada, aligned with Benedict XVI's theology. Cardinal Willem Eijk, Netherlands, who has opposed some of Pope Francis's stances. And Cardinal Albert Malcolm Ranjith, Sri Lanka, who supports the old-style Mass. The world now waits with bated breath for the moment when white smoke billows from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling that the cardinal electors, guided by their conscience and the traditions of the Church, have chosen the next leader of the Catholic faith. As Benedict XVI once said, the Holy Spirit leaves room for human judgment, ultimately ensuring that the Church will not be ruined by the choice. The decision rests with the cardinals, who swear to vote for the one they believe should be elected before God. Thank you for joining us for this explanation of the papal election process. Stay tuned for further updates as the 2025 conclave unfolds.